way of thinking about secularism, as the word secular is often taken to mean non-religious. In this book, secularism describes institutions rather than persons. Secular liberals can be personally religious, but they insist that these convictions are private matters. I suggest that illiberal politics also classifies religion as private, but it seeks to expand the scope of privacy and shrink the public. Rather than resist religious privatization, illiberal secularism valorizes the private sphere in a process of super-privatization. Illiberal secularism protects markets from government regulation, reduces scientific authority to mere belief, and maximizes the sphere of religious freedom. It limits the scope of liberal democratic institutions in favor of a state defined primarily by the military and police. The privatization of everything dovetails with attempts to destroy public civility and profane liberal pieties. Illiberalism's opponents are divided about what this offensive style means for free speech. Some hope to restore liberal civility. In her 2016 address to the Democratic Convention, for example, Michelle Obama exhorted the crowd not to stoop to the Republican nominee's level. As she reminded her audience, "When they go low, we go high." The best way to respond to politicians who went low was with a dignified refusal to engage. Rather than trade insults, Democrats were encouraged to keep the faith that civil discourse and a commitment to telling the truth would win out in the end. Critics from the left, however, have argued that civility is a pointless response to people who do not seek to be civil or included. These critics assert that illiberalism needs to be canceled. Debates about civility and illiberal offenses, then, reflect different evaluations of the threat that going low poses to American democracy. So much winning. The Twitter ban added insult to the injury of the lost election. Twitter's decision to suspend Trump came at a moment when he was losing his grip on power. Losing was never the plan. In a 2016 campaign speech in Albany, New York, Trump prophesied, "We are going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with health care and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much you may get tired of winning and say, 'Please, please, Mr. President, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.'" The spectacle of winning was a gleeful performance of semantic excess. Trump's presidency promised so much winning it could not be contained within the basic rules of grammar and propriety. Winning exuded a transgressive energy. It will be so much. It will be too much. Americans wanted to win, but winning might be more than some people can take. The people who could not take it were the losers. According to Trump, losers were parasites within a culture of success. As he explained, "There are people, I categorize them as life's losers, who get their sense of accomplishment and achievement from trying to stop others." Trump's losers were not necessarily those with fewer economic resources, although they sometimes were. Losing was about social status. Losers were weak and disrespected. They were driven by envy and resentment. The ledger of winning and losing kept score in a social world in which people cared a lot about what other people thought of them. In Trump's America, losers tried to constrain successful men by making them follow rules. Losers abounded in zoning boards that would not let Trump build, journalists who refused to acknowledge his accomplishments, and above all, the guardians of civility who insisted time and again that Trump had gone too far. Trump was out of line when he gave offense, when he crossed uncrossable social lines by insulting some group or person with language ruled out of bounds within liberal public discourse. Perpetually vexing liberals, Trump had mastered the art of owning the libs. The Twitter ban hit so close to home because it promised to make him the sort of loser who was forced to follow someone else's rules. It was a triumph.